Jefferson wearing his high school T-shirt.
Yeah, I was in junior high. I was Desert Foothills. No big deal. Yeah, we were doing big things over there. Perk, you don't know nothing about that.
This guy.
It's okay. Everybody that's been in Desert Foothills, they know.
Kendrick, we're going to hear a lot.
For next week. It's a lot of Arizona stuff. So
All right, after accidentally stepping on a referee's foot last night, an MRI revealed a bone bruise in Trae Young's right foot himself. He is listed as questionable for Game 4 against the Bucks tomorrow. How does this news affect the Atlanta Hawks' Richard Jefferson?
Well, obviously, Trae has been, I don't want to say breakout star because the man was already a starter in the All-Star game, but ultimately, we know, this is not if you don't have Kawhi Leonard, you can go to Paul George. If you don't have Chris Paul, you can go to Devin Booker.
Right.
Part of his success and his greatness that we've seen is it's him.
Yeah.
And the surrounding cast do a great job.
There are very good players on that team, but he is the star.
He is the setup man. He is all of the things that make this engine run. So without him, we know the truth. There's not much of a chance without him, and his team knows that, and he knows that.
You know what? I just hate it because, honestly, he's been the greatest show in the playoffs, right?
Most
he's
consistent.
been the brightest. No, I'm saying far as, being the brightest stars, must-see TV, Trae Young
he's been a show.
Yeah, he's been a show.
Go back to Madison Square Garden.
Absolutely. He's taking it over. And so I hate to see him go down because he was giving us all what we wanted to see. At least he was challenging the Bucks. He was making them, putting them on their heels, putting pressure on them. And RJ, you was being nice, but to sum it up, Rachel, Bucks in 5.
Well, look, I know this is what I know about Trae Young. No, I mean, look, he will try to play. If there is a way for him to get on that court, he will get on that court. We have learned that about him. This kid is so tough. But as he said post-game last night, he does not have explosiveness right now with this injury. And a guy like that, especially that size, and we have seen it with Kemba Walker. We were talking about Isaiah Thomas, not Zeke, the other Isaiah Thomas during the break. Yep. You need that speed because you are smaller. You have to hit that window quicker because you cannot see over and shoot over guys in the same way if you are just a fraction of a second slower.
And we saw the 30-foot shot that he's hit, the 34-foot shot. That all takes every piece of your mechanics working properly. And I'm not saying that Trae's not going to play. I'm not going to say that Trae's not going to have a good game. But if Trae's not 100% or pretty close, that just makes the job that much harder.
And then to make it even worse, he's going against one of the best perimeter defenders in the game in Drew Holiday. So not being 100% or 50% healthy, going against a guy like Drew, I mean, good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
All right, I do want to get to Chris Paul. We've been talking about him all show. He has a chance to reach the NBA Finals for the first time in his 16-year career with a win tonight. What a journey it has been. CP3 has been the most All-NBA and All-Star selection, double digits of each of any player that has never reached the finals. So, Perk, what would a win tonight mean for CP3's legacy that he finally crossed that barrier?
It will mean everything. Look, he's already a top 5 PG of all time, in my opinion. It will put him right at number 3 behind Magic and Isaiah Thomas if he reached the finals. I'm looking at this for CP3 is more looking like AI, Rachel, your favorite guy, right? Taking the team to the finals, doing the unthinkable. No one thought when CP3 came to the Phoenix Suns this year, everyone was like, what is he doing? Except for me. I said that they will finish, be one of the better teams in the league, but I'm not here to brag. At the end of the day, he did the unthinkable. He took a young team with no experience, came in with his veteran leadership, and did it on and off the court, and here he is, one game away from the finals.
I think
it's the truth.
I think it does nothing. I'm going to stand on this fence and say it does nothing. If Chris Paul gets to the NBA Finals, I don't judge him any differently. I know how great he is. Now, if he wins the NBA championship, that's how I really do feel this. Look, he had multiple times where, somebody gets injured, a hand gets broken, a hamstring gets pulled. Those are out of his control. That doesn't take away from his greatness. In my opinion, no one's asking you right now. Hold on. My point is
he's literally here because we are asking for his opinion.
But in this moment, right now, my thing is for people that don't want to give Chris Paul their respect, it will move him up.
Right.
For the people that have always respected him as the great point guard of this generation, up there with all the top name, he's got to win a championship to get a little bit further. That doesn't mean that he hasn't improved the longevity, all of the stuff that he's doing, been impressive. But I've always known Chris Paul was this guy, whether he made it to this final or not.
You know what's disturbing?
Please
the
tell
guy
us.
that played the game. And Rachel, this is what we take for granted so often, right? We talk about winning championships, but people don't understand how hard it is just to get
there
to the finals.
Yeah.
Okay, so with CP3 coming here and getting his team to the finals, forget getting to the playoffs, forget getting to the first round, forget getting to the second round, forget getting to the conference finals. He took this young team that have about 5 guys that never played in the playoffs, and they're on their way to the finals if he get this win tonight.
I agree.
It does a lot for his legacy. It moved him from number 4 or 5 to number 3. That says a lot because he's jumping Stockton and all those other guys, in my opinion.
Perk, am I counting in my head right? You've been to 4 finals?
I've been to 5 finals, Rachel.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Although I feel better that you didn't know either, so that's good.
Yeah.
You've been to 4 finals. So even though these guys make it look like it's easy to get to the finals, it's not.
We had a lot of help.
know?
I'm not going to sit up and say I was the reason that we went to the finals. He will, but I won't.
He was a big part of the reason with the Nets.
It's okay, Perk. You don't have to give me credit. The rest of the world will.
Rachel, when the Nets traded them, guess what happened?
They got better.
And there we go. I will say this. I am very happy to see Chris succeeding in this way because there has been a rap on him, as you note, unfairly by people who don't know. But there has been a rap on him that, he doesn't do well in the finals or in big finals moments, he falls apart. He definitely will be the first to tell you, and he did it to me on the court, Perk. You mentioned it the other night. He will be the first to tell you there have been things that have gone wrong. But also, if you look up Chris Paul's playoff performances before this year, he has had some super
ridiculous,
crazy, impressive playoff performances. So I'm just glad that this year's season, what he's doing is wiping some of that misconception about him away. All right, coming up, we got to Team USA now. Managing Director Jerry Colangelo said Devin Booker expressed, quote, a great desire to play for USA Basketball and told them he would join the day after the finals if the Suns made it that far. The same is expected for Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday if the Bucks make it to the NBA Finals. We've never had a turnaround like this, Richard. And as a former Olympian yourself, ask him, Kendrick, ask him how he did in the Olympics.
Well, a few people with an Olympic medal. I might be the only person with an Olympic medal on this stage.
Well, to be honest
what
with
color
you,
is it?
I turned down the invite.
It was bronze, but I had it dipped in gold.
Beautiful. That's nice. Thanks for doing our country proud.
I actually had an invite right after we won the 2008 championship, Rondo and myself, and I turned it down, and it was the worst mistake of my life.
I could have told you
it was the worst mistake of my life. I turned it down because I was
you thought it was too tight.
Yeah, it was too tight.
Even
So
then.
I would encourage Devin Booker and Drew Holiday. Look, I know you may be tired, but y'all have enough offensive firepower that you won't be playing a lot of minutes.
Now, let me say this. Representing your country is one of the great opportunities, regardless if you do great, you succeed, whatever.
Come in under expectations and spark an entire revamp of the whole program.
You're welcome. How on earth can we look at the teams that went the furthest in the bubble, that had the shortest amount of layoff, that also struggled through the postseason, the Boston Celtics, Miami Heat, the Los Angeles Lakers, all of these teams that really struggled. I'm not trying to discourage them from going again because you don't know what's going to happen in another 4 years. That being said, they need to expect that they will be exhausted. You have to look at your history to know what's going to happen in the future. So all of these teams that have players that are going to be participating in this, especially teams that have their stars, it reminds me of the bubble. You play in the bubble, you go at the end, you keep playing more basketball. How is this team going to be able to sustain another run all the way through the finals when the Laker team is rested, Golden State Warrior team is rested, Utah Jazz is rested?
Well, you mentioned the Warriors. So before COVID, when we expected the Tokyo Olympics to be last year, both Steph and Clay expressed interest in going. Steph, in fact, told me in an interview, he said, yeah, I want to go, sign me up, right? And then he was so excited about it. Considering all the injury issues that team has had, they both decided this time, since it was going to be in this time frame, and next season, guys, is going to start, quote, on time. So this season started on Christmas, 2 days before Christmas Day. This season will start at the end of October, as we have had in the past. So I was a little surprised to see Draymond Green on this Olympic roster, given that Clay and Steph took that stuff into account that you're saying.
Go ahead and bolster that Hall of Fame resume, Draymond. Go ahead and bolster. Come on, man, Dre. I respect it. I know what you're doing.
Good
man.
for him,
Good,
though.
great
Like,
for him. I respect it.
I'm
I
actually
respect
glad.
what's in.
I'm actually glad that he's actually a part of it and not a replacement.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I think Draymond understands big picture. He's one of the smarter guys out there. Like, this man is building a Hall of Fame career. Now, if your individual stats aren't there, you better make sure that your team and all of the success that you want individually is there.
I don't know if that's why he's doing it, but I do know this, that he has shown himself to be very durable, so I worry less about him than some of the other guys. We will see what happens. All right, coming up.